We are starting. Fine. Child's pose position. Just turn that down, it's a bit loud. All right, so make this active. It's up to you if you want to keep your knees open, narrow, or you want to do is feel some space, allowing your hips to just relax, driving your bottom down into your heels and you're lengthening your arms forward, lifting your elbows and lowering your forehead to the floor. Breathing into the sides of your rib cage and then breathing out, melting down a little bit lower. Take your breath all the way down into your lower back. See if you can reach your fingers forward a little bit more without lifting your bottom from those heels. Melt your hips, allow them to drop. 2 more breaths. And then you're going to lift your eye gaze forward, slide your hands in, lift yourself up and bring the knees under your hips. Cat-cow, chin up, bottom up, dip your head, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then go the opposite way to a curved spine. Sucking the belly in, stretching that lovely arch through the whole entire spine. And then going again, lifting the chin, lifting the bottom, shoulder blades squeeze back, back dips down. Anchor. And we're just going to do that one more time. Eye gaze up, chin up, bottom up. Really draw those shoulders back and away from the ears. And then curl it all the way up, scooping everything in. Holding for a breath in, and then we come to neutral spine. Take your left leg behind you, make sure you've got some room behind you. And take your right arm. We're going to do 2 exercises here. We're going to do a curve under, going back to that arch at the back. And we're going to lengthen. We're going to pause there and just squeeze to the corners of the room. Back to center, curl that same side under. So we're not touching the floor, we're finding our balance. Reach, squeeze out, back to center, curl it. So when you take that leg out to the side, you're not turning the hip, you're staying your hips pointing down towards the floor. It's just a slight abduction through the shoulder and through the hip. And feel the buttocks squeezing, abs squeezed in tight. And as you pull your elbow to knee, you want to really think about tucking your chin, tucking the tailbone, sucking the belly in. So imagine that suck of the belly is arching your spine that little bit more. And if you feel off balance at any point, you can tuck your toes under on that right foot. It just gives you a little bit more stability. Make sure you change your head position. So your eye gaze drifts forward in front of your mat. So you lengthen. And then it curls under as you draw everything in. I've put some random music on, by the way, so don't know what's going to happen each time. Okay, we're going to do one more full one. So one more big tuck under. One more reach. Stretch it out and pause. So feel your toes and fingers stretching away across the diagonal of your body. And then just give me some little presses up and down, mobilizing the shoulder and the hip. Squeezing through the belly. Now try and take the pressure off your left shoulder. Bend the left elbow a little bit more. 8, 7, 6, reach it. 4, 3, 2, and drop it down. Arch that back. Take your knees wide. Slide your bottom back into your heel, but lift your eye gaze. So your spine stays straight and you're looking forward. Flatten, open your hands nice and wide. From here, we're going to lift up, drop down into tricep. See if you can tap your nose to the ground. Bottom stay in the air. You push all the way back. And then you sink back to that child's pose, but keeping that extension of the spine. So curve up. We drop down. Elbows sliding into the rib cage. Curve it back. And you can take your knees a little bit narrower if you prefer. And then if you wish, you can take it up a notch. You can lift forward, lift the knees, come down into tricep, push all the way back up, lower the knees, sink down. Or if like me, I like to do the motion down with no knees, and then I like to put my knees down and push up from there. If you're doing it with your legs completely off the ground, what you can do as you push back up, you can then bend the knees, crouch, and do it completely off the ground. So play with it, whatever works for you. So the most important thing about this exercise is you pull back, stretch the body, and then you go straight into the hardcore tricep exercise. And I want you to really think about letting your chest drop first with your bottom following the motion of the chest. So your bottom doesn't drop at any point. Fabulous. Been taught well. I'd like to think that's me teaching you. Okay, 4 more no matter where you are. Work within your own strength and ability. If you find you go down and you get stuck, drop your knee to work into the technique rather than ending up hurting yourself by trying to use other muscles. Now make sure you're breathing or holding your breath. Inhale to go down and then exhale to power up. So you should be on your last one. Let's all do one more together. Push all the way up to the top, pause at the top. If you're on your knees, can you now lift your knees? Hold here. Look forward towards me. Shoulder taps. We're going to do 10 each side. Try not to let those hips wobble. Squeeze those bellies in tight. And if your hips are wobbly, drop your knees. Derek, carry on. Now lost count. 14, 15. As soon as you're done your last one, you can go back into that child's pose. This time, you're going to sit back and bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers, let your body melt down. And then you can lift those arms up and stretch open the shoulders. So really squeeze the shoulder blades together to elevate the arms higher and pull them all the way over your head. I feel like we're listening to cheesy pop music. And then release your hands back down. Good. Bring yourself forward onto your hands and knees. Nice square position through the spine. And we take our right leg up behind and we reach our left arm. So same as before, we scoop under, elbow to knee. We kick away. We squeeze out to that 45-degree back to center and curl under. Keep ramping the foot. So remember, if you feel off balance, left foot, tuck it under, tuck the toes under to give you a bit more stability. You bring that arm and leg out. It's not a big move. It's just to squeeze the side, hips stay facing down. Make sure you're still squeezing your lower belly to keep your lower back stable. And again, soften that right elbow so you're not putting all the pressure through the joints. Okay, give me 4 more, please. So when you've done that last one, you're going to hold at that angle and you're going to press up and down. Remember, you just soften that right elbow. 8, 7, 6, 5. Reach it. 3, 2, and release it back. Little mini child pose, pull back. Now, look forward. I want you to take your left hand slightly wide of your mat. Lift up and take your right hand about, so you want your palm to be where the fingertips are on your left hand, but wide as well. Do you see what I mean? Staggered. Staggered push-ups. So you can be in a box position, drop your chest down between the thumbs and push back up. Or if you want to go further, slide your hands further forward, come into a half plank, work from there. Or if you want to do it on your toes and challenge yourself, do it on your toes. But remember, you've got to do both sides. So Now, this is not comfortable in your shoulders, reduce your range, change your hand position, or bring them back square if you feel it's not for you. Push-ups are never for me. So just adapt. So what's going to be happening here is your right elbow is going to be slightly higher than your left. Your left is squeezing slightly down towards your hip. So slightly different muscle groups. When you've done 10, I'm hoping you're counting yourself. You should have about 4 left to do. You simply slide your hands, swap the positions, and do the other side.
It is good.
What, staggering your arm position?
Yeah, I've never done that before.
Haven't you? So if you get a little bit deeper, perhaps take your body weight a tiny bit further forward. The chest needs to go pretty much between the thumbs. Make sure you're counting yourselves. You should be in your last few reps. And when you've done your last one, just bring your hands in. Now I want you to bring yourself back into your heels. I want you to slide your fingers underneath you. Line them up where your knees are and just push down onto the backs of your hands and extend your elbows. So nice. The more you try to extend your elbows and push into the ground, the more that's going to get your forearm. And release it. Slide your hands forward, tuck your toes under, bring me up, come up into a downward facing dog. Now listen, downward facing dog, first one of the day, important to line yourself up properly. I want you to bend both your knees so you're on your tips of your toes. So once your knees are bent, you can then lift your hips higher and you can melt your chest further down towards your thighs, really lengthening out into those arms. And then you can push your heels down to the floor. And there's your lovely triangular position. We're going to work the left leg. I want you to lift your left leg up towards the side, keep your hips level so you're not opening your hip out to the left. Just squeeze the butt to get that beautiful extension in the hip towards the ceiling. Look forward. We're going to roll onto the tips of the toe of the right foot and pull your left knee to the outside of your left elbow. Then push it all the way back up to the sky. On this one, we bring it forward and we go under and twist towards the right elbow. Then we kick it up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Roll forward to the left elbow. Lift it up. Squeeze it up. Pull it forward. Turn from the waist. Put it up towards your right elbow. Now, option, you need to take it down a notch. As you come forward, you can drop your knee and just simply pull the elbow, pull the knee, sorry, to each elbow with your knee on the ground. Then perhaps you can lift both feet again to downward facing dog and repeat the process. Now you're going to do 2 more rounds, which means 4 more coming forward. And I want you to try and keep your right leg dead straight the whole time. There's no bend in that right leg. You're just rolling into a plank, curling it forward. 1 more. Now listen to my instructions before you try and collapse or come out of it. Everybody, on your last one, we come forward. Pull the knee towards the elbow. Hold. 5, 4. Listen to my instructions. Drop it down. Drop it down and sit into that bottom. Okay, hot now. I don't know how you put it. No, it's coming up in a minute. So you're in a seated hurdle. Take that foot a little bit further away from you. Get more of a 90-90 position through the legs. Take your right hand onto the left foot and then just come forward. So you drop down into the left elbow. So this will give you a light stretch into your left foot. Maybe like no. You're upside down. You're upside down. So just lean as far as you can go. You might want to change your positioning. Some people feel moving towards the foot, you get deeper. Some people feel moving towards the knee, you get deeper. And what we're going to do from here is just transition into a pigeon. So when you're ready, all you're going to do is turn that back leg, slide the left knee over to the left wrist and the foot up towards your right wrist. Take your right leg as far back as it will go, so you're sitting deep. Left arm forward, right arm opens up. So the same hip as the leg that's back, you lift up. And as you do so, keep sinking your weight down into that left side. And then this arm is going to sweep all the way through. In an ideal world that isn't mine, we drop to the shoulder, we drop the head to the floor. Ideally go about as far as there, otherwise I fall. My buttocks just don't allow it. So think about feeding that arm under and then slightly pulling back, but keeping your weight falling down into that left hip without actually falling over. So release the arm, come back into the center. Come up onto your hands, bend that back leg, swing your right hand around, catch hold of the foot of the ankle and drive the heel into the bottom. Pull your shoulder and your right hip back towards the front and go into a deep quad stretch. You're still getting a stretch. Now, if you're really lucky, which I'm not, you can raise your left arm, take it all the way around and grab that balance. Right, yeah. I used to be able to do it on one side. I can't remember what side it was. It doesn't happen. Go deeper, deeper, deeper. So when we release, we're going to sit down into our buttocks. So you guys are actually going to end up just facing that way a bit. And then take that leg all the way around and sitting like that. So the position you're in is quite wide leg position. So not that leg in front of. Then bend the right knee a little bit, get the right arm inside, take the left arm, open out through the shoulders and just literally swing over the top into a side bend. So what we're trying to aim to do is get hold of that foot and then slide away a bit and then twist under, which I can't do. Something I used to be able to do again.
My top arm's supposed to reach my foot.
Well, it's the goal, Vicky, it's the goal.
Okay.
I mean, if you bend your knee enough, you'll get it. But then you've got to get your body under the arm. Oh, so what you want to get here is a really lovely stretch down into the lower back of the left side. Rib cage, maybe. Lats. And you're trying to get the elbow extended and reach through the arm and turn and look up underneath that arm so you get more of a twist in the body. So actually turn your body under the arm. Take the arm further overhead. Then we're going to rotate, look towards that left leg, and with that same hand, that left hand, catch the foot. So it doesn't matter how much bend you put your knee, grab the foot. That is your leading arm. Your right one can just slide with the leg as you push it away. And bow down. So use the grip. So my hand's really holding onto my foot to then pull into the stretch. So I then open my shoulder blades, my rib cage gets more of a stretch, and then go to the hamstring and the lower back. So ideally, you're trying to move your chest more and more and more to the right across the side of the thigh. Who's not getting the stretch? Let me know and I'll come and make you get the stretch. It's really good stretch, really good. And then kiss your knees. Blowing in there. One more deep breath. And then free the leg. Good. So come back to face into the middle of your mat. Bring both your knees in. And then get your bottoms right up close towards your heels. Catch hold of the back of the thighs. And then just come into a little hover on your buttocks. I'm sorry, you not go like this. So you can't do it.
Oh, is it roll down? Oh, no question.
So most of you are going to just do a little roll back and forth. Try not to put your feet on the ground when you come up. Yeah, so you could just literally just do some curves as far as your body allows you to go down. So. What are we laughing about?
What? Oh, I'm like tabletop. Doesn't art.
No, it doesn't, does it? It's quite,
What?
that's why you need to do it. Create a curve. It's got fart potential as well, this one. Fart potential.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to do 2 more. And then you're all going to come back to that hover at the top, still holding onto your legs. And then lift up. Now, keep your knees together and stretch your left leg, flex your foot. And just work on a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. Lift your chest. This doesn't hurt your back in this position, does it? Get that leg up. Come on.
My knee hurts. Yeah.
Does it? Swap. Got that one. We'll be looking up to your toes, not forward. So lift your chest, abs on, hold. Now point your toes and do some little crisscrosses. So focus on your abs. Good. Come down to the floor and do this there. At least then you'll get an abdominal workout. Keep going. About another 10 seconds apart from Sarah, who's going to stay where she is. Come on, lift those legs up. And then hold on to the knees. Right, so hug your knees in, Sarah, in about 10 seconds time. Keep going. Open those knees and just take a little bow forward. So you've not got your heels tucked up close. Your heels are quite far away. Paul's just doing his own thing over there. Feet together, come forward. He was just staring at you.
I was just going to go way past 10 seconds. Think that OCD, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
I just wanted to work her core a little bit more. So our legs are going to stay in this position, okay? Are you okay just here though, in this position?
Yeah, well, not great, but we're not back. My spine doesn't go back.
Doesn't it? Really helpful. Should have got my ball, because that'd be really good support.
Yeah, that's what I would need.
Anyway, I can give you an alternative if you want to do this. The rest of you here or here, if you want to add to the load, and we're going to do elbow to knee twist. So you can do exactly the same on the floor, but perhaps do a little length on the opposite leg. But keep your knees wide, so you're still doing that diamond shape, so it's challenges a little bit. Yeah, but without letting your buttocks wobble around. Not in a that your buttocks wobble sense, as in don't. Yeah. Okay, if you want a little bit more, you can drop down a little bit and come up, drop down. It's a very subtle move. You can start to reach your toes. Try and keep that position the whole time in your legs. So the diamond shape doesn't change. Get those knees wide. That's it. See if you can start reaching to your toes. Can you reach your elbow to your toes? Okay, we're going to go 8. Don't stop. 7. Sink down a little bit more. Pull the legs up a little bit higher. Pull your knee down a little bit wider. 3, 2, one more. And then release. Now we roll up. We this time slide the heels close together. Lift yourself up tall. I think you're just better on the floor without that support. There's no point in working your back over your abs.
Yeah. No, I can feel my abs doing it working like that.
Yeah, good. Push those knees down, lift tall. It's down a no-show today then.
It's a no-show.
At least you've done what you needed to do.
I've just got too much work.
Okay, so we're going to keep our right foot tucked in And take our left one straight out to the side. And then we bend the knee, get our left arm inside. We take the right arm down, lift the chest, and take a C curve over, reaching towards the toes this side. So use the arm to turn the chest, look up towards the side. Sam, are you going off for another 5 months somewhere?
No, first
To,
Turkey and
for
then
how long?
Greece. Well, 8 to 10 weeks. No, 2.5 months.
You haven't been away for a while, have you?
Oh, I've been in England doing
Things. Oh, how fabulous. Turkey, Greece, and where?
Well, just Turkey and Greece this time, and then Turkey in September, October, and then
Yes, because that's where your boat is. Isn't it? Elbow extend, reach the toes, turn. Are you going with friends?
we've got look, our kids coming out,
Oh,
and my
no.
brother and family as well. So yeah, and then friends in September, and maybe in-laws in October. God.
Okay. Slowly release the arm. Turn towards that leg. Right hand catches the left foot. Get as much bend as you can to get a firm grip, and then you could just work on the stretch from there. You may stay there, that's fine. Or you may just drop your chest towards the thigh, extend the knee. I want you to feel your rib cage and your shoulder blades stretching as well as your hamstring. Try and drop a little bit deeper. Come on, pull the thighs, the chest sorry, across to the left thigh. And then just ease it off and release. So that leg is going to swing all the way back behind you. Before we come into that stretch, I want you to, as if you're going to pigeon stretch, tuck your toes, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. So we do the same things we did before. Deep bend in the knee, bottom to the sky, head and chest melt down. And then you can push the heels down, getting that perfect triangle. All right, right leg, sky. Don't turn the hip, just lengthen out. And then from there, you're going to rock forward onto the tips of the toes on the left foot, swinging that knee to the right elbow. Then push all the way back up behind. And come forward, turn across, drop the right hip as you pull towards the left elbow. Push back. And the slower you go with this, the much more effective it is, because it's that time under tension, gives you that opportunity to just pull that knee a little bit closer in. Strong in the shoulders, strong in the core. Four more to do. So make these four really count. Remember your options, feel knee, the left knee down. You need to. Left hand, sliding and slipping. Now that last one, remember guys, we hold the right knee towards the left elbow, sink the hips, turn the waist and hold. 8, 7, give the belly in to hold. 4, 3, and then we just simply drop the knee down. Sit down into your right buttock. Take that foot a little bit further. So we want to get a 90 degree on the legs. And then find your stretch. Left hand on right foot, pull yourself forward. So just pull yourself into a position where you feel a nice little stretch into the right glutes. So after a couple of more breaths in this position, you can transition, if you wish, into that pigeon. And then the knee kind of turns a little bit more to the right. You can bring that foot further up on the mat if you can. Slide your left leg back. Lift up, right hand to the floor. And raise the left arm up to the sky as we turn. Shoulder. And then that left arm scoops under the right. And if you can drop all the way down to the shoulder or not, find a place that works for you. So if you can take that that left arm under, try and drop your head too. Breathe into the right buttock. I want you to take one more deep breath. If you are under with that arm, bring it all the way back up, all the way onto your hands, bending your left heel to bottom, bringing your left hand around to catch and take it into a quad stretch. And then try and pull your shoulder and hip back round to the front. If you want to lift your right arm, you can. Lifting on this side. Now, what we're going to do in a minute, which is a great rotator of the waist. I might have done it a couple of weeks ago, I think. We're going to drop our leg, slide your right leg, free it, and then bring your forearms side to side. So we're going to transition on a side plank, side to side, rotate. Okay, and when you do this, I want you to think about keeping your arm at a 90-degree angle. Don't extend it up. So from here, we're going to have a wide leg position. We turn, and then we lift, and we squeeze the shoulder, but keeping the arm 90 degrees, guys. So like that. And then you roll back to the middle, and you turn the other way. Squeeze the shoulder blade, open the chest. Rotate. Turn the other way. So you get a nice kind of rhythm going. You need to be able to, before you turn your arm, you've got to roll onto the edges of your feet like that, and then open your arm. You're going to feel more rotation to your waistline. So center, roll the feet first, then lift the arms. Squeeze the underneath butt cheek to elevate the plank. Now, next time you roll over to the right, hold. Pull your elbow back. Squeeze your elbow behind you. Then roll, punch under, but don't turn the feet, and pull the right arm back. Squeeze. So we're rotating, squeezing back. So you're on the sides of your feet the whole time. And 4, 5. Lift those hips. Give me 3 more. We're going to 8. When you've done that, last 1. Roll back to center and lower yourself down to the floor. Slide and make a little pillow. Pull your legs, squeeze them together, extend your arms close to the head, lift your legs into a hover, lift your upper body into a hover, and give me some little swim kicks. So we're just going to take, I think it's been very slow moving. So let's just take a little bit of a shock to the muscles and reach and go as fast as you can, but controlled. The work comes from the glutes. The knees are dead straight. If you don't like the arms, drop the arms, do the legs on their own. Keep going, keep going. 8, 7, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Let your body drop into the floor. Come up onto your forearms, lift up into a plank. So your forearms are side by side. Come to a plank and give me some alternate knee taps. Or you can do 2 knee taps together. I prefer alternating. So we're going to tap 6 more times without letting your hips move. Then we're all going to turn to face the left side. So roll onto the feet, lift the left elbow, squeeze it back, roll, punch under, don't move the legs, just hold your body still. Turn from your chest, tummy, keep going, squeeze it under. Lift those hips higher, 4 more. And then we roll back into the center, knee taps. Give me 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Oh, make a pillow again. Take the legs wide. Then take your arms wide. Look at this like a little upside down snow angel. We lift up to a hover and we're going to close and open wide. Narrow, big star. Keeping the chest off the floor, working everything in the back of the body. Feel the glutes opening out. Feel the glutes squeezing in. And now we're going 8 more. Come on, lift the chest, lift the thighs. 3 more. And release it again. And wriggle those hips side to side. The dirty version. Okay, slide your hands underneath your shoulders, pick it up, and we go back to child's pose. Oh dear me. I usually have it off the explicit version, but haven't now. So let's take these arms and walk over to the right. So keep your buttocks pinned down into your heels. See if you can take hold of your left wrist and just pull that left arm into a lovely C curve. Lower the head, chest, and shoulder to the floor. Let's move to the other side. Taking hold of your right wrist and then lengthening out. Pull your right hip back. Bring yourself back to the middle. Push yourself up. Tuck your toes under and just come into a little hover of the knees. Which should feel really nice and easy. If you want to make it a little bit harder, so have a look. You should practically skimming the floor. Lift your right heel to your right butt cheek. Feel your left thigh kicking in. Well, actually quite nasty, this one. Now return both feet, hold. Focus on drawing in through your core. Squeeze your butt cheeks, which is difficult to do in this position. Shoulders back. And then we're going to push ourselves up into a downward facing dog. Work on walking through those heels. But when I say walking through those heels, push down for a couple of seconds and then swap and push down. So it's more of a static stretch than dynamic stretch. Keep melting your chest down towards the thighs. On each side. Then you end up just pushing both your heels down to the floor. And I want you to start walking your feet back to the center with your hands to your feet. Just get a hold of your big toes if you can. Soften the knees, lift up, look and lengthen, and then fold down. Soften the spine, lengthen out through the knees, chest to the thighs. Really breathe. It's like the swearing's getting worse in this. It's a really good song, but it's too much swear. Well, there we go. It's a nice way to pick our last song, isn't it? Good job there's no one to prude in this. Okay, what I want you to do is bring the hands behind the base of your spine, interlacing like we did earlier in child's pose, and bring the arms up and over and stretch open those shoulders. Try and get them as far up over your head as you can go. At the same time, still keeping your chest down towards those thighs. Reach them up, come on, overhead, as far as they will go. Straighten your knees a little bit more if you can. And then gently release your arms, let them hang. The whole spine becomes just a hanging dead weight. Scooping the belly in, just carefully begin to stack your spine all the way back. Chin comes up last and shoulders rub. The arms open, look up, pull your chest up, shoulders back. So we're going back into a side bend. We lift the arms up, we take hold, don't mind which wrist you hold on to, pull the arm up and come over into a side bend. So your hips push, but you need to keep your core strong. Center, pull up to the other side. As we bring ourselves back into the bend again, we slide our fingers together equally, bring them forward, and then push them forward. Squeeze the fingers, open the shoulder blades, bow down very slightly, just feel that lovely opening for the back, the upper back. The more you try and pull your arms away from your shoulders, the more it releases. And then we open them up wide, we bring our hands to the back of the waist, pull your elbows back and lift your chest one more time. And then we release our arms. We come one more time overhead, hands together to the chest, and do yourself a big bow to the floor, all the way up, a little overhead clap. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure. Oh. Yeah.